is very, very interactive, which is good because that's how I learn. You have a mixture of lectures and seminars, and the seminars are really good because you get to put what you learn in the lectures into practice. You will do like group teaching with each other, and we'll have the actual physical resources that you can use in your teaching placement and stuff. So it's really good because they're really practical. Obviously with COVID, we have had to have less practical classes, but it's still been really good because it's all online and you get to use everything that you learn on your placement. So it's very beneficial.
Yeah, I think the Stranmillis course is really good. You know, it's really practical, especially the placement. I think that's the best part about it. You're able to get your hands in, get down to business and get dirty with the knowledge that you learn in class.
I would say like there are aspects of the course that is challenging. But what I love about my course is that you're not in a lecture theatre, you know, for 5 hours a day. It's a great variety of lectures and seminars, but also practical aspects.
I think for me, there's a really good balance between theory and not theory. So for example, in our maths classes, you would learn the theory behind the maths and how children learn the maths and how to teach them maths most effectively. But you also get to actually play with the types of things that children would use in the classroom, which is always good fun. So I do think there's a good balance, and it's not always just really difficult theory and head in the books, and there's also just a good balance. Yeah.
My favourite part in terms of like academic stuff would probably be the seminar groups, because that's when you get to actually take what you've learned in the lectures or heard about in the lectures and discuss it a wee bit further. And it also becomes a wee bit more practical then, and that you learn the steps as to how you can use what you've learned into the actual practical teaching. But also this year I've really enjoyed our disadvantaged pupils course. It's been really good and really insightful to see that different side of education as well. So that's definitely been my favourite this year.
Well, for me, in first year we were given the chance to choose an area of specialism, and I chose PE. Again, going back to what I said about that practical side of it, and it's given me so much. Especially we got an opportunity to go to a school in Belfast, a primary school, and there that really gave me my first chance of teaching PE.
I can think of two main examples for this. So one of the things that I really enjoy about the course are the practical classes like drama and art, just because it's really fun to get to make things in art and do the drama, and sometimes you think you're being pushed out of your comfort zone a wee bit, but that is beneficial to do these things before you go to placement. And one of the other things that is the most enjoyable part of my course would be my specialism, which we chose probably in the first few weeks of first year. So I specialise in English and literacy, and it's a small class of 9, I think, and I just really enjoy specialism because you get to know your classmates a lot more in the smaller circle, and the staff members that take it, and our assignments are really enjoyable. Even though they're still marked, they feel like a little bit of a break from other assignments because they're something that I enjoy. So we had an assignment to write poetry and write a children's book, and we're in the process of looking at getting that published. So it's just something that I really enjoy and I'm passionate about, and even though it's part of the course, it feels like a little bit of a break and a little bit of an enjoyable release from other assignments.
So placement can be something that's really daunting, especially for first year, just because you're going to the school where you maybe don't know anyone. But thankfully, I have had the most amazing experience in all of my placement schools. The staff just welcome you straight away and want to support you in whatever way they can, because they remember what it was like to be a Stranmillis student. And it's just a great experience to go in and mix with staff and see how school actually goes on a day-to-day basis on the other side, rather than being a pupil.
I won't lie, going back, there was a few late nights, you know, working on lesson plans and trying to get ready for the next day. But as I said, you know, placement's all about getting involved in the life of the school, and you, like I said, you're learning off the teacher all the time, and what you take away from placement is amazing. And Stranmillis will bring in a tutor twice usually during your placement to observe you, which is a fantastic chance to for us to understand what we're doing well, you know, and what we could be doing better as well. But there's no denying that placement is tricky, you know, but the experiences and the life lessons you learn there are incredible. But it is brilliant.
I've absolutely loved them. Yeah. I was very privileged in first year. After my first year placement, I got to go back as a paid classroom assistant, which was an unbelievable experience for me. So from there, and then my second year, it was unbelievable too. I really enjoyed it. It was more local in Markerfeld, and you know, just the teachers really, they're just so good, tutoring you the whole way through.
If you're unsure as to whether you actually want to be a teacher, it's maybe something you're interested in, I would say definitely go for it anyway, because I wasn't 100% sure as to whether I wanted to be a teacher or not. I knew I wanted to work with children in some shape or form, but wasn't sure if I definitely wanted to be in a classroom, because I thought it could be quite restrictive or a typical day-to-day job, but it's actually not. Stranmillis is probably my highlight of all of my academic career because it allows you to learn so many useful things, but also have so much fun at the same time. And there's so many things you can get involved with in Strand. So it's really just, it's the best like 4 years that you can have.
So good in terms of like just making connections with schools. If you don't have placement, there's no way really you're going to make those connections as well on your own. You know, go into schools and you have the placement, they get to see you teach and they get to see how good you are. So totally in terms of employability, placements are top notch.
I would say that if you enjoyed working with young people and you've had those experiences, then this is a course for you without a doubt. And again, I would go back to the experiences and the chances you'll get, you know, especially on placement and as we said earlier about degree enhancement and extracurricular activities. And like I said, it can be a challenging course, but if you love working with young people, then it's just Stranmillis is a course for you, you know, no doubt. And I have no regrets joining here. You know, I absolutely love it.
I would say that the idea of moving from secondary school to university is a daunting one, and it is a big jump up, but it's also great just to have that more independence, and it's just a different relationship that you have with the lecturers. You're being treated like an adult and you take responsibility over your work, and the friends that I've made in first year and for university I know are friends for life. So even though it is daunting at the start before you arrive and when you arrive, it's still a daunting experience. It's definitely worth it, and I would say just jump into things, just join clubs and chat to whoever you can, and it will definitely make things a lot easier and a lot more enjoyable.